My name is Alexis Book, and I'm involved with children's liturgy. We are a children's program. We offer it during Mass. It's about 20 minutes to a half hour. Children are able to come down, and we do the creative movements where the kids can act out the daily gospels, or we do a craft that pertains to that daily gospel, but something that gives them their own perspective and still making it fun and interactive. Originally, losing both my grandparents and how they're involved in church was the initial inspiration, and then Father Aaron asking if I would be interested in pursuing getting involved. Working with the children and giving them a different perspective so that they can understand and grow their relationship with Jesus. It has definitely been a confidence boost. Again, just watching the kids and what they share and how they feel and what they bring. If you're ever thinking about it, and it really will not leave your brain, get involved. Don't let anything stop you. That they were part of building their own further relationships with the Lord.
My name is Kathy Anger, and I'm involved in the St. Vincent de Paul. Actually, it was Deacon Dana had been talking to me for a while about this, and I kept telling him I couldn't do this until I had retired as principal at St. John's. And I think it was the day of my party, going away party, he said, now you can be with St. Vincent de Paul. And I had met so many nice people through St. Vincent de Paul too. I think it'd be hard to just say one specific time. You just meet so many very needy people, but you also meet some very caring people too. I think when you finish a call with somebody and you realize, hey, they were really on the brink of not being able to do their rent or their food for their families, and that you helped them. It just gave you a really good feeling about that. I think we deal with a lot of people with children, and I think when you see you've helped somebody who has children and couldn't afford to put food on the table for them, or a single parent dealing with a lot of issues by themselves, and you're able to help them or find some place they can go for the help. It does make you feel a lot better that you've been able to help somebody in need. I think that's sort of comes with doing a part of St. Vincent de Paul. You just really do realize that God is working through a lot of people to help. It may be one family, but there may be three of us who you call and ask them for help with what to do. We have a good ministry where people aren't afraid to call one of the other members to say, what do you think I should do with this? So you always have somebody who sort of has your back, and it makes you feel like you're really a part of a blessed environment, I think. I always use one of our members as a guide for this. She was working a full-time job and still managed to help us with St. Vincent de Paul. Now she's retired, and she is always one who's willing to help. It definitely has, and I think it's been realizing how much people need your help, and you may be going through a difficult time, but you see how much worse they have it, and it makes you feel that, hey, I'm not in this by myself.
I am Angie Butz, and I help out at school by doing playground duty 1 day a week. The teachers are so good, and they just go and do recess duty because they know they need to do it. And but I also see that just having a break in the day to be able to breathe and think and get a few things ready that you might need for the afternoon. I also knew and appreciated what that was in their day. So I decided to just come up and see what I could contribute to help school out. It comes from the experience that I had. Primarily, I was a teacher at St. Stephen's for many years, and I see and saw and appreciated the army of people that it takes to volunteer and keep everything moving very freely and flow really well, and take a little bit of the responsibility from the teachers so they can concentrate more on teaching in their classrooms and their ministry at school. When I retired, and I saw that there was a need. There's always a need for recess duty. I mean, the teachers need a little bit of a break during the day. I saw the teachers out doing recess duty, and I don't remember if I saw a little blurb in the bulletin about if you have a free afternoon, or if I just knew what the ministry was that was needed. I don't remember how I started doing it, but I knew I was free at lunchtime 1 day a week. I could give 1 day a week. And so I decided to just jump in. Now, I also needed to be with the kids. Like, I really missed being at school and being with the kids. So it kind of filled a little something for me too. I really just know from experience that the volunteers at school are valued, and they really help contribute to making the environment at school friendly, and they help the teachers feel like someone is there helping them lift the load. And it takes all kinds of support for the school. Money, energy, time, all of those things work together. And if you have time, if I had time I could give to it, I felt like I needed to contribute that. You know, there's always a little stinker or two that I need to be praying for, or I see that I can just be outside and I'm grateful for the day that I'm outside and I get to spend it with the kids. So it helps me slow my day down a little bit. I get to come up, do something for school, someplace that I know really needs a little bit of help. That helps my faith a little bit. But I also see that who I need to be praying for and how I can send my energy that way. My little disclaimer is that I am one of many, many, many volunteers that come up here. So I'm really just taking on the face of the other volunteers that I see up here that come up and help kids read, or that I'm up here with another volunteer that comes up and does the same thing I do, but then she goes in and does lunch duty also. So she goes inside and continues on with her ministry, and there's several parents now that I see coming up to do that. So I'm really just the face of the many volunteers that are coming up, and I'd love to extend an invitation to everybody to come up if you feel any inkling at all. It doesn't have to be a long commitment. It doesn't have to be an extended commitment. And for sure, we can find something that would fit what your time and talents and treasure can contribute to school. The selflessness of coming up and doing something that they enjoy doing, but they know that they're contributing to the positive environment at school.
My name is Dan Murphy. I'm involved with the St. Vincent de Paul Society. It's basically to help out our neighbors in need. People call, they need assistance. We try to get them to either the right place to get them assistance or help them out ourselves. My father, he was at St. Vincent de Paul as long as I can remember. He's gotten up in age and he can't do it anymore, so it's my turn to participate now. I've helped out a lot of times with getting people furniture. People don't have beds. One guy, he didn't have a bed, So he got a couch so he could sleep on. So they're just sleeping on couches, and then he had nothing before that. So it gives you some perspective. Just helping other people out. I've been very fortunate in my life, and it's very nice to give back when you can. I would say perspective on things, just to feel how fortunate I am. When we talk faith, I think this is stuff Jesus would do. Go help the less fortunate, help the poor people, and take the time to just talk to them, really. I would say volunteer, just to sign up. There's all kinds of different avenues to do it. I spoke about, there's people who take the phone calls. I help deliver furniture. There's people who, help with the food pantry, delivering food there. There's something for everybody to do there. You give what you can. They send out an email and ask for help, and if you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can, everybody's happy to see you. What I found very interesting is when the parishes joined, St. John's and IHM and St. Stephen's, how the need closer to the city is so much greater. They've been serving these people tirelessly by themselves, and now we got a larger group that can help these people.